fourth and final Shire Living Voices meeting of 2023 split fairly clearly into a short look back at those things that had happened in part because of our input, and a much longer look forward at a change which is set to affect every Shire Living tenant over the next couple of years. The truth is that the 16 hours that our small band of 20 or so representatives have spent in these meetings during the year has been largely getting to know how Wrekin Housing and its Shire Living operation works, and trying to get a grip on how, if at all, we can improve things for our fellow tenants. According to Wrekin, our involvement has led to internal decoration plan for Parkwood, Maywood, Chasewood and Elmwood before March 24.
And I was surprised when we were working through this the other day around actually how much work has been done within that 12-month period. The defibs and water dispensers being available at all locations. Now I know at the Coppice there's a little bit of a challenge, should I say, with the defib, but it's all sorted and everybody's got their defib and everybody can access it. And we've even done some training for tenants on defibs as well. Grounds maintenance. I mean, there's been feedback across all of the schemes around the standard of grounds maintenance, and actually you want more input from services so that, you know, either it's a cut and collect of grass, or residents want to take over a certain area of the garden, or raised beds and things like that. So I'm really pleased to say that Trees has done a sterling job, and IT training has been delivered to tenants at Springwood, Oakwood and at Withywood as well. So if any of the other schemes want to have some IT training, then you know that service is available for you as well.
Now, just how much of that would have happened anyway is difficult to guess, but the simple reality remains that tenant committees like this are the only way of holding a social landlord like Wrekin to account. And next year we're aiming to set more of the agenda, get some better feedback about ongoing issues and delays, and try to be a more effective pain in the corporate structure.
1.7 million vulnerable people rely on telecare in the UK. When someone falls, they might press an alarm.
With or without us, Wrekin plans ahead, and it's been one of the first providers to attempt to come to terms with the switch from analogue to digital phone systems, something which affects the communications and alarm systems in every Shire Living apartment, as Vicky Andrews, Wrekin's Support Services Manager, explained.
So I want to talk to you about what digital means to you. And I think sometimes the term digital can seem really futuristic and frightening. I think that video probably does a little bit of that to us as well. But essentially, all it means is your landlines, like it spoke about, your landlines by 2025 won't work in the same way. So really, for yourselves, it's just thinking your landlines in houses will change. The new digital technology is coming in, but it's definitely nothing to be scared of, and Gareth's going to dispel those myths.
What I'm going to show you is the work that Apello is involved in with upgrading emergency call systems within schemes. Now, so this is the box that's currently there, or similar. So what are you getting in your flats? What are you going to be having to raise an alarm now? Okay, so we've gone from that box on the wall to a touch screen device. Okay, now the point was made that you might have some apprehension, or there might be some apprehension about digital. Will I need to learn anything new? Will it be complicated? Am I going to have the risk of becoming confused? And that in itself might be something that causes you a concern about how am I actually going to raise an alarm. So, what do apartment occupiers at the moment? What do residents do at the moment to raise an alarm? Well, they either so press the red button I heard there, or pull a pull cord. You mentioned about pull cords. or pressing a pendant. Okay? So whilst this is now a touch screen that would be installed in the same location as where the old unit was removed from, okay, this is a fixed point on the wall. To raise an alarm, everybody will be provided with a pendant, so exactly what residents do now. Press a pendant to raise an alarm. The pull cords that you mentioned, the pull cords can be reattached to this new unit. Pull cords in the digital era, okay, we see those as being far less likely to be needed in any case, because folks should have their pendants, which will work anywhere within the building. So you might be thinking, oh, we've got to go through this transition, we've got to have the work done in our apartments. What are we actually going to gain from that? Well, the benefits that you're going to get are primarily safety related. And the first safety related benefit you get by having the digital system is that very quick connection through to Astroline. So in a situation of peril, where the old system might have taken a few minutes to get through, this is only going to take a few seconds to get through, all right? There's also no more call queuing with this system. So in the example that I used before, if I hit my pendant, that will now dial straight through. If somebody else raises an alarm while my call is in progress, that will also dial through to the monitoring centre without the need for call queuing, all right? So initially you've got two pretty significant safety enhancements by the fact that this is now a digital system. Now, when the staff are on site, okay, the alarm calls will actually go through to those staff on site first, all right? So what happens when you raise an alarm with this unit? The call will be handled by on a walkabout telephone, all right? Now, you asked the point about if you're not in your apartment and you press your pendant, will the staff know where I am? All right? So you suggested that at the moment, if you press your pendant, the call goes through, but no one knows where you are.
They go rush into your apartment.
They go rush into your apartment. That's exactly what happens, right? In the event that a resident is, say, down in the communal lounge or elsewhere in the building, all right, you press your pendant, the call will still get generated from the unit in your apartment. The staff will still answer the phone in anticipation of speaking to you in your apartment, okay? But now when they can't hear you because you're not there, there's some information that comes up on the screen for the staff, and it will say it's apartment number, all right? But it will also say where the nearest aerial in the building is that I am connected to. So now as the staff member, I've answered the call, I can't hear you, I'm now not going to run off to your apartment, which could be, especially in a larger development, that could be some minutes away by the time I get there. Then I'm knocking the door. Well, how long do I knock the door for before I widen the search or go to the next level of escalation in the procedures to see how is that now going to be dealt with, all right? Because I can see, oh, yeah, nearest aerial, communal lounge, right? So I won't have gone off to your apartment, I'll have gone to the communal lounge.
Paula Reynolds, Wrekin's head of retirement living, explained the thinking behind the leap forward in technology.
We know people want more modern technology, they're using more modern technology, they're more mobile, and they want more features as well. And this is a product that gives us more features. So there will be a lot of investment from the organisation to be able to move in this direction. Now, you're already paying a service charge.
Yeah, of course you do, yeah.
For the infrastructure of the building, the security measures and things like that. So it is part and parcel of your service charge and what that looks like within your own schemes. So it's a replacement programme that we're working with Pella. So Parkwood will be the first scheme that will have it. So it'll be interesting to see how easy that is facilitated and what customers think about the product themselves. And also our brand new developments. So when you're going into a brand new development, you don't know anything different.
No, you don't.
So you're learning it from day one. So it will be very interesting to compare and contrast from an existing scheme to a brand new scheme. But my team particularly has done a lot of research around what's on the market already. We believe this is a product that is going to be able to future-proof our services moving forward. So that's the.
She estimates that all Shire Living schemes should have the new devices within 2 to 3 years. And Gareth Bracher went on to spell out many of the benefits yet to come.
When somebody calls you from the visitor panel, with this new system, you will see the images from the door camera. All right, so it's video door entry. All right, so when somebody calls you in your apartment, you are now going to have the benefit of, before you answer it, you are going to be able to see who is at the door. Okay, and as you can see, without me needing to press anything at all, I can now see the video feed from the panel. I can see the video feed from the panel. All right, so I'll answer that and I'll be able to let you in. All right, so once I press the unlock tile or the yellow unlock key, okay, the person at the door hears the door is now open, and that door would automatically open at that point. Other benefits are aligned to helping folks stay in contact with each other more easily, okay, in certain circumstances. So, for example, this unit from here, there is a contacts tile on here, all right? And when you press the contacts tile, that brings up a list of all of the other apartments that are in your building, be it Parkwood or whichever other building this is installed in, all right? And you can select an apartment number and you can call your friends and neighbours around the development from this unit. So this is a this is a handy feature if you don't know someone's phone number or it's somebody that you speak to regularly. You can just tap their apartment and you can call through to their them. Now you can do that as a video call, face to face, or no, plenty of head shaking there, or you can do it just as an audio call. Okay. Now, you can't just be landed on in video mode, right? So if I'm calling you in your apartment, and or you're calling me from your apartment and you've initiated a video call, if I've got the curlers in and I don't want to be seen, okay, I'll answer it in audio, all right? Yeah. So there has to be a mutual acceptance for a video call. But the point being is, through this system, there is a ways and means of you being able to connect through to speak to your friends and neighbours. These units also get installed in the communal areas, so for example in the communal lounge. So if there's a gathering in the lounge and we're expecting one of our neighbours to come down and we've not seen them yet, then rather than us going off to the apartment to knock the door to see, are you still coming down for this game of cards or whatever it is we're doing, we can select their apartment number and we can call through to them and we can we can get in contact with them that way. So it's just another more convenient way of contacting, again, your friends and neighbours around the development. So what we're doing here is we're just showing how two neighbours will call each other. I'm in apartment 1, so you bring up the contacts book, press apartment 1, that's it, and you can see, if you can zoom that camera in, you can see that apartment 2 is now ringing, all right, okay. And in this case, I'm going to answer the call just in audio. So I touch the audio tile there, and if you can just confirm and if you can zoom in, you'll be able to see that there's no video available on that feed. All right, so we're just having a normal voice-to-voice call.
That's because it's too close.
I'll put the feedback is because the units are too close. But you saw there that I wasn't. Neither of us had video there because there wasn't that mutual acceptance of a video call. So this time, if you could call me again, please, in apartment 1. So you press the contacts, that's it, apartment 1. And this time, I'm going to answer in video. There'll be a bit of feedback again, but can you see that there's now video flat to flat?
That's really clear, I can see that from here.
Yeah, you can see it from there, yeah, that's ace, yeah. You will certainly get instructions. As part of the installation, there is some training that is provided for residents. We do coffee mornings, that style of approach to familiarisation. The staff, of course, get in-depth training. So if you've got queries about the system once it's installed, it is highly likely that the staff will be able to remind you of the features. Okay? But the main thing to remember, coming back to that point around, this is something new. Will I be able to, will I remember how to use the feature? As long as you remember that to wear your pendant All right, your pendant is absolutely the most important means of raising an alarm. Yes. So the pendants look a little like this. All right, they can be worn on the wrist or around the neck. They are waterproof up to 1 metre of water for 30 minutes. There is no right place for a pull cord because it is only ever any good to you if you are having your incident right next to the pull cord, which is why wearing the pendant, which can be operated anywhere, is absolutely the primary method for you raising an alarm. So every apartment gets one of these screens, okay? It's installed in the same location as where the old box was removed from. There's at least two reasons for that. One is because it's less decorative disruption, all right? So we've taken off one box, we're putting on another. And also it means generally where the unit will currently be installed, it will be no more than one closed door from wherever you might be in your apartment. So typically they're installed in hallways or maybe just inside a lounge, okay? And that's so that if you're in any other room of your apartment, you generally wouldn't be more than one closed door away. And the regulations for these type systems, the microphones and the speakers, are all standardised so that they're receptive enough for you to be heard without necessarily needing to shout between one closed door. With this, it's permanently fixed on the wall. The regulations stipulate that these, despite being tablets, need to be guaranteed of power. The main system itself, the whole system itself, is backed up via a dedicated battery backup, not in the unit itself, in the control equipment. So if you have a power cut to the building, the system will automatically keep itself up and running for about 8 hours because of the battery backup. Okay? There's no reliance on you to manage this device yourselves. Now, you may now be thinking, well, okay, but not having it portable also has some drawbacks. It means that when I get a door call coming through, right, I have to physically come up to the unit to operate the door opening functions. All right? Now, there are a couple of solutions or facilities that we've made available if folks want a different way of engaging with the system without having to actually come up to the unit itself. The most simple of those systems is we have a remote door opening pendant. All right? Now, so you bear in mind, this is in your hallway now. We might be sat in our lounge. Somebody calls us in our apartment from the door entry. We hear the ring ring, but we need more time to get up to the unit. You know what delivery drivers are like now? They'll press your button and after 30 seconds, if you haven't answered, they'll be away on to the next call, right? So we have a remote door opening pendant, which will answer the call when you press the button. You can call out to the unit, who is it? You'll hear back, it's DPD, it's your visitor, whoever it might be, and a second press on the button will release the main door without you having to have made your way to the unit to engage with the buttons on the unit. All right? So if folks are less mobile or frankly want the convenience of not having to get up to the unit, a remote door open pendant is available. There is another of the features is we have the Apello app. So anybody got their own smartphones and tablets now? Yeah? Okay. So if you've got a smartphone or a tablet or both, you will be familiar with the concept of apps because everything that you do on a smartphone or a tablet is app related. Well, we have the Apello app. All right? We have the Apello app. And what that does is it gives you the features of this unit that's solidly fixed on your wall, but it gives you the features conveniently on your smartphone or tablet. All right? So what that means is your door call comes through, your unit will ring in your apartment, all right? Maybe you've got a door open pendant, maybe you haven't. If you've got the app, the call will come through on your own device. You can see who's at the door, you can answer it like a normal phone call, you can speak to the person. When you're happy to let them in, you can do it from your phone, all right, or your tablet, okay? You can also do the flat-to-flat calling. You can also do the flat-to-flat calling from the app. So when I first mentioned about flat-to-flat calling, there were a few folks that sort of shook their head when I said, "Does that sound like an interesting feature?" Right? And we can definitely state to you that if you don't want to have your apartment on the directory so nobody can call you, that can be set up at the time of doing the installation or subsequently via some programming, all right? So you can be removed from the address book in entirety. If there is a particular apartment that you don't want to have call you, then you can ensure that that apartment can't call you, all right? But once you've made friends again, and you decide you do want that apartment to be able to call you again, then that can be readily done. Staff can also do what we call broadcast announcements. So let's say there's a number of folks that are going on a particular visit that day, or on a trip, or you need to know that Fish and Chip Friday is now at 6 o'clock, not 7 o'clock, or what have you. Then the staff can call into those relevant apartments, all right, to broadcast messages, all right. Now those broadcast messages can go to just one apartment, many apartments, or everybody, depending on what the nature of the message is. We are creating our own voice assistants. We're not going to be reliant on, or we're not going to wish to rely on some of the issues that are presented by off-the-shelf voice assistant type products. As helpful as they are in our everyday lives generally, for raising an alarm call, they're not seen as being reliable yet. So we're going to have our own voice assistant that only understands one simple command, and that will be Apello help, 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 and that will raise you an alarm in the same way as you had if you'd have pressed your pendant or pulled your pull cord or pressed your red button. For folks who may be harder of hearing, or frankly again just want the convenience, we have a Bluetooth speaker connectivity with this. This is a Bluetooth enabled device, all right? Now what that means in the real sense of day-to-day use would be, bearing in mind again, this is now in your hallway, permanently fixed to the wall, you're sat in your lounge, on your coffee table, you could have a Bluetooth speaker with a microphone in it that deals with the audio two ways. All right, so now you're not needing to call out to the unit in your hallway, you can just be speaking to the speaker, and that is relaying the speech for you. Similarly, you're not needing to strain to hear what's being said to you from the Astroline or the staff member. Maybe it's that broadcast call that's come in from the staff member, okay? That's going to come through on your speaker that's nice and conveniently placed next to your coffee table now. Yes,
so if I had the app on my phone and I was sitting in a coffee shop in Telford somewhere or other,
yes,
and I wanted to speak to my next door neighbour at the apartment,
yes,
can I do that?
Yes. So the app, okay, the app requires a really good connection to the internet via either a Wi-Fi, so say you're down in the coffee shop in Telford, you mentioned, if they've got good Wi-Fi in there, and you're connected to that, or if you've got 4 or 5G connectives via a SIM card, then the idea with that app is that it works wherever in the world you are connected to the internet. You could be on your sun lounger in Tenerife, all right, connected to the hotel Wi-Fi. DPD come with your parcel that you've ordered before you went away, and you can tell them what to do with the parcel, you know. So we have a friends and family app which is coming down the line. It's not available right now. What the friends and family app will enable that family member to do is via the app dial into, say, the speech unit, so that they could actually call in and check on well-being. You know, we said about the I'm OK feature where you can let staff on site know that you're up and about and you're OK and don't need that call. On the Friends and Family app, that friends and family member would see that you've pressed your OK button that day.
Gareth is an enthusiastic salesman, and his explanation of the Apello system and its benefits lasted over an hour. I've tried to cover all the points of interest to Shire living residents. This brave new world of touchscreens and Bluetooth speakers will fascinate some of us, and it may worry others a little, but my conclusion is that it won't differ that much if we don't want it to. It can be as simple or as complex as each person needs it to be.